Antarctica. Hello everyone, and welcome to the 31st episode of our English learning series. In our last lesson, we learned about the 7 continents. Today, we are going to explore one of those continents in more detail. It is a very special, very different, and very extreme place. We are going to learn about Antarctica. Where is Antarctica? If you look at a globe or a map of the world, Antarctica is at the very bottom. It is the continent that surrounds the South Pole. It is far away from most other continents. Its name, Antarctica, means opposite to the Arctic. The Arctic is the icy region around the North Pole, at the very top of the world. So Antarctica is its opposite, at the bottom. Antarctica is a land of superlatives. This means it is the most of many things. It is the coldest continent in the world. It is also the windiest continent, with very strong winds blowing across the ice. And it is the highest continent, not because of tall mountains, but because the ice covering it is so incredibly thick. Let's talk about the cold. Antarctica holds the record for the coldest temperature ever recorded on Earth. It was an amazing minus 128.6 degrees Fahrenheit, which is minus 89.2 degrees Celsius. That is colder than anything you can imagine. It is so cold that almost the entire continent is covered by a huge sheet of ice. This ice sheet is incredibly thick. In some places, the ice is almost 3 miles, nearly 5 kilometers deep. And remember, this thick ice is sitting on top of the actual rocky land of the continent. This giant ice sheet is very important. It contains most of the world's ice. It also holds a very large amount of the world's fresh water. Water in oceans is salty, but the ice in Antarctica is made of fresh water. Near the edges of the continent, this huge ice sheet slowly moves towards the sea. These slow-moving rivers of ice are called glaciers. Sometimes huge pieces of ice break off from the glaciers and fall into the ocean. These big floating pieces of ice are called icebergs. Antarctica is also strange and wonderful because of its day and night. It has only one very long day and one very long night in the entire year. Think about that. Where most of us live, the sun rises every morning and sets every evening. But at the South Pole, it is different. The sun generally rises around September 21st. Then it stays up in the sky, moving in a circle, for 6 whole months. It finally sets around March 22nd. This long period of light is the Antarctic summer. Then, from about March 22nd until September 21st, the sun does not rise at all. It is dark for 6 months. This is the long Antarctic night, or winter. It is hard to imagine 6 months of daylight and then 6 months of darkness. Do people live in Antarctica? The answer is no, not permanently. There are no cities or towns like in other continents. The conditions are too extreme and difficult for people to live there all year round. The only people who stay in Antarctica for long periods are scientists. Many countries have research stations in Antarctica. Scientists live and work in these special buildings. They study the ice, the weather, the animals, and the history of our planet. Antarctica is like a giant natural laboratory. Sometimes a few adventurous tourists also visit Antarctica on special ships, but they only stay for a short time. Even though people do not live there, Antarctica is home to some amazing animals. Because the land is covered in ice, most animals live near the seacoast or in the cold ocean waters around the continent. There are about 45 different kinds of birds. The most famous residents are the penguins. 2 types of penguins live there, the tall emperor penguin and the smaller Adelie penguin. They are amazing birds that are adapted to the cold. They cannot fly, but they are incredible swimmers. 4 different kinds of seals also live and breed only in Antarctica. They spend a lot of time in the water, but they come onto the ice to rest and have their babies. The ocean around Antarctica is full of life too. Many types of whales swim in these cold waters. You can find the killer whale, also called orca, the giant sperm whale, and many species of baleen whales which filter their food from the water. Here is something surprising. Even though Antarctica is covered in ice, there are active volcanoes there. Active volcanoes are mountains that can sometimes erupt with hot, liquid rock called lava. So, Antarctica has the world's coldest temperatures on its surface. But deep down under the ice, there are some very hot places too. Antarctica is a unique and important continent. It is a place of extreme cold, amazing ice formations, unique wildlife, and important scientific research. It helps us understand our planet's climate and history. It is a continent that belongs to no single country, but to the whole world, preserved for peace and science. It is a reminder of the power and beauty of nature in its most extreme form.